Greetings folks, in this video we're going to be talking about how can we manipulate strings of pandas data frame or pandas series object. So at first we're going to start off by importing our necessary libraries. Now this is our data set. Okay, df. Here you can see it's actually here's some player's name, their college, their birth date, weight, height, etc. If you see dev.info, now you can see columns which are integer, which are object. Object means string, so height is a string and except weight, all others are string. Okay. Now at the beginning I want to talk about a strip function, strip method. So what it does actually, if you write x is equal to a string like string string, and after that you can notice here this white space. Now you want to remove this white space, so what you have to do is x.strip st. Now you can see string. Now here there's no white space anymore. Now if you want to access a column weight, df weight wt, you will see an error because we don't have, it's saying we don't have any column named wt keyword. But if you press one space here, then it will be okay. So sometimes it occurs. So let me just see our div.columns view. You can see all of them are okay, but just this weight, this column it contains one white space. So to remove this, what we will do is div.columns is equal div.columns dot str. So now you can see we didn't use str here because it's just a string. So but here it's pandas series object. So to access string operations in pandas series object, you have to use this str accessor. So str dot strip, strip. Now let's again access that column df weight wt. It's okay now. So that's all about strip function. Now let's talk about splitting. So to split, let's say I want to split a date 29 9 204. Okay, so I want to split it dot split, and by what? I want to split it by those forward slash. So in a quotation, now see all the events are split by this forward slash. Okay, you can also split like hey. Guys, dot split by that underscore. Now notice here it returns us a list, and you can access each of the elements of this list. Now you can see that hey is now zeroth index, and guys are index number 1. So if you just pass here in a square bracket syntax just 0, then you'll extract just hey, and if you pass 1, then the second element guys. But to access that in pandas series, you have to pass here .str accessor. Okay, we'll see that in a minute. Okay. Alright, let's see how can I do this splitting in our data frame. Now over here you can see this height column. Heights of all the pairs are in 70 to 70 inches, but some of them are in feet. Now let's say I want to convert all the all the height units to inches. So 6 feet and 2 inches should be converted to what? To inches. So what we have to do is we have to multiply this 6 by 12 and add it and with this 2. Again, now how can I do that? df dot height height dot str dot split, and we want to split it by this hyphen. Okay, now if you want to get the first one, it won't work. We have to again spice dot str. Now you can see the first column is just those feet and those inches. This is just 6 feet. Okay. Now we can store it in a new variable column name, just df. Right. Let's call it fit. Fine. And we want to convert the data type object to floating point. So as type what? As type np dot float. Okay. Now for our second element, what we will do, just here, second one, and let's say it's inches. Okay, now let's see our df. First one is feet. Okay, but for inches column you can see so many nans because all the rows doesn't contain any hyphen, so there's nothing to split. That's why in inches column there are so many nan values. So if you just want to add feet column with inches column, it will return you so many errors, because like np dot nan plus 5, it will return another nan. So what we'll do is we will just fill those nan values by 0, then our multiplication will cause no problem. So df dot fit inch and ch inch dot fill na by what? By 0, and in place true. Oh shit, inch. What's the problem? Inch. INC. Shit. Okay, it's looking out. Now what? Now we want to convert those 6 to feet to inches. So to do that, we have to multiply them by 12. So how do we do that? Just only those 6 6 or 7 7, but not those inches 78 69. So to do that, df dot loc df, but it's in our fit column, fwt less than, let's say 10. That's now on 10 feet, but say for example, and we want it only for our fit column. Okay, so we want to replace them by what? Multiply them by 12. So multiply them by what? 12. Multiply and equal 12. Let's see. Fine. Now our df. Okay, now 6 feet is turned into 72 inches. Now our final step is just adding those columns. So df height in inches is equal df dot fit plus df dot inch. Now you can see our conversion is successfully done. 72 74. The same thing you can do more easily by, if you want to convert all the units to feet, what you have to do is replace this hyphen by just a point, floating point 6.2. So now you'll see the replacing method in pandas series object. So df dot height dot what? Replace. I first see general replace method. So you want to replace. Now here 6 hyphen 2 is actually a string, a total string, one character. It's 6 hyphen 2. We want to convert them by, replace them by what? Replace them by, let's say 0, for example. So you don't have to write that str accessor here for replacing method. See, all the 6 to 2 is replaced by 0. Okay, but if you just want to convert it as type typ and p dot float, it won't work because there's some other feet. Sorry, yes, feet 6 feet and 0 inch. It's not actually convertible. So if you want to replace just this hyphen by what? By this decimal point. Let's see how it turns out. It doesn't working. Now it's working, but not really, because this replace method can't find any hyphen. So to access that hyphen, you have to write that str accessor. Now it will work. Now you can say that hyphen is replaced by dot. Okay, so now we have just created that, and we want to store it in a new variable df, let's say just ht height. Okay, now all the values are in height format, and we want to df.loc what df age height, those are greater than 10. We want to what? We want to divide them by 12. Okay. Now this our new. We want to perform that program on a new column HD. Okay, let's see our data frame. This is pretty simple. Just by using 2 lines of code, we have transformed our all values, all height values in feet unit. You can see this 6 feet to just 6 feet to 75, 6 feet to 5. So now you can see that this method is a lot easier than the previous one, just 2 lines of codes. But there's another way of doing this for the previous one, that is converting all the heights to inches, that is using a defined function by this way. So this is our height to numerical, just feet, inches, and returning what? Feet are multiplied by 12 and adding them up with inches. And here another function for just what? At first we are going to try height is equal just integer of height, that is for those height values are already in inches, and if values are not in inches, if there's any exception, then we'll use this function. Okay, so let's talk about some other string operations. Now we want to talk about display name. As player name or college name, we want all the players for college name Washington or Southern Louisiana. How can I do that? So it's pretty simple. df dot loc, then what? df dot college name equal, it's just a boolean masking, college name Louisiana. Control V. Okay, let's see what it turns out. Okay, cool. We have just one player for that college name. The same thing we can do by our string methods, like dot str dot, and you can see all the functions for this str access by shift tab. Sorry, not shift tab, just tab. Here you can see case word, find all, upper lower. So you're going to use contain. Contains what? Contains Southern Louisiana. What? Oh, it returns boolean. So what you have to do is just wrap up it by square bracket and pass div. Okay, the same thing that we found before. But this method can do a lot more than the boolean masking. So let's say we want all the columns, all the college names that starts with S. So for that we will add one caret sign before S. Now let's see. Oh, many college. Southern Louisiana, Stanford, San Diego, many more. So you can't do this thing by our previous method. Okay, so we can do a lot more things by this string function. Okay, Control C. These are actually some of the regular expression functions. str.findAll, find all names that starts with S. Okay, that starts with S, capital S. Okay, so it returns as list, and we'll see that by just dot sum. Oh, sorry, just S. All the names that starts with S and followed by any character and one or more time. So now you can see all the names that starts with S. And here you can also specify I don't want any white space in between. So all the names without any white space. Now you can see all the spaces are gone. It's just the first name. Likewise, you can do many more things by this find all operation method. Okay, now let's do something more. Let's see just how to find out the length of those words. Give it str.alien. Now it will give you just length of those words. That is, this is 11. This is what? 10, 22. That's what. Okay. You can also do a upper lowercase changes by just here passing your double P here. All of the names are now in uppercase. Also do lower. So that's all about pandas string operation. If you find this video helpful, please subscribe, and if you know some other cool things, please let me know in the comment section down below.